everybody? Today we are working on the G8 again. I got the car turned towards the sun, that way it's a little bit warmer. You know, it's April here in Michigan, but the weather still can't make up its mind. But newest update on the G8, so the alternator warning whatever started going on my car. This weekend is the opening day for the track, and we have cars and coffee, so I'm gonna try and get this done. It's Thursday. I'm honestly busy the next 2 days, but we're gonna try and get this done and see if I can have, you know, a good birthday weekend at the track. I turned 21 on Sundays. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never looked at a video on how to do this. I've changed alternators before, but we're just gonna start by taking the intake out and all that stuff and get down to it and see if we can figure out if there's you know, loose wires or if we got to change the whole thing. But yeah, let's dive in. Alright, so here's a little update. We got the intake out, really, and so, okay, down here is where our alternator is. So I know we gotta take care of that bolt. That's right there in the center. And I know we got a couple more, and we gotta get this pulley off. Alright guys, so update. I got the intake off of the car, and I got the belt off. I started taking some screws off of a component that is right above the alternator, but I am out of time for the day, and so I gotta get going to school. So looks like we'll be back at this tomorrow. So got the car backed in, and we are all set. Alright guys, we are back. Jumping forward, it is now Friday. I didn't get to it yesterday at all, but Test and Tune is tomorrow, and so is Cars and Coffee. So I know I have a couple friends who are coming Test and Tune just to race me. This will be my first season with my cam and full bolt-ons, all that junk. So, you know, gotta get the races in while I'm at this stage in the build. But, yeah, we have the power steering pump we gotta get off next, and then right below it is the alternator. So we'll get it off. We're gonna head to an auto store or whatever, make sure the alternator's bad, and, you know, probably, anyways, we're still gonna buy a new one, get it all together, and make sure the problem is fixed before we head off to Test and Tune and all that stuff. It's about an hour away, and I don't wanna get stuck, you know, the car crapping out on me. All right guys, so I got the alternator out and I went to O'Reilly's and AutoZone. Unfortunately, the alternators and the G8s can only be tested, you know, if they're good or bad, when they're on the car. So, yeah, I have it back. I'm gonna see if I can put it back in the car, get it all buttoned back together, and yeah, go test it out. So they do have one coming in for me for tomorrow. Unfortunately, you know, I'm supposed to be gone all day tomorrow, but the game plan is maybe go to Cars and Coffee, come back then afterwards, and we'll just have to show up to Test and Tune a little late. But yeah, it's kind of in there. So let's get this back on and go get it tested. All right guys, so it is now Sunday. Today's my birthday. I had a good time at church, but I did not get my car to Test and Tune, unfortunately. So I don't know, the alternator came in around 3 o'clock, but Test and Tune is 12 to 6, and so like I said, it's about an hour away from where I live, so it would kind of be pointless to, you know, rush back, miss out on everything that everyone's doing, and then you know, barely get my car in. And I learned, this is my first Test and Tune, that Test and Tune does not move that quickly. So even if I had gotten my car done and gotten there, I might not have even been able to race, because they have like all these different, you know, categories for racing. And yeah, just, you know, when they cycle through all those, you sit for a long time. But I had a really great time hanging out with my friends. On my way to get this thing tested then, I think it was Friday night, I did not hook up my air intake good enough, and it, you know, it didn't fall in the engine bay or whatever, but the coupler came off, and so my mass airflow sensor was not connected or whatever. Anyways, so my engine died, so I was sitting there on the side of the road, took a while, my parents came and rescued me. You know, thank goodness it was a really easy and stupid mistake, but I got it to O'Reilly's, and yeah, they said that my alternator was putting out 8 volts, which, you know, I kind of did my research. I was like, all right, is that good or bad? Anyways, that is not enough to charge your battery then while you're driving. So
yeah, it's sitting right here in the garage again. I'm gonna back it up, get it pointed towards the sun. It is a beautiful day out today. And yeah, I got the new one. It is over here on the ground. It is really good looking compared to my other one. My other one's just like covered in power steering fluid. But yeah, let's do this all over again. Alright guys, so this is already going way easier than it was the first time. So this is the power steering pump. This was, attached right there. Takes 2 bolts on the front and then that one down the side. And I'm just using, some bungee cables to hold it off to the side. That way we can get a better reach on the alternator, and it has to be out of the way to bring it out. So I'm going to take this pulley off right here so we can get to one of the 2 bolts that are in the front of the alternator. There is that little one right here, right there. And then yeah, I have the little power cable that's connected to the back, and a sensor, I don't know what it is, on the other side, and then it will be out. Now, one of the things that I found really helpful that I found on the forum is in order to get to the bolt that's in here, you have to take the pulley off that was right here. This pulley was on right there or whatever. And so they said, when you're taking it off, just kind of take it off all as one piece, because as you can see, there's like these, crap, again, I suck at words, little discs or whatever. And so that way you don't have to remember which way they went. Just take it off as one piece, and then just hold it by the bolt, put it down. Alright, so one of the last things we have to do before we get the new alternator in is this bracket is what we need to put the new one onto. So I got this chisel here, a hammer, and we're going to see if we can get this thing separated. Alright, so everything should be put back together. I got the belt on, obviously the new alternator's in. Getting it on the bracket was a little bit of a pain. Power steering pumps all together. I noticed it is actually low, so we'll probably pick some of that up once I get it out on the road. But yeah, intake's on, so when I go plug the battery back in, it should, all work fine. Alright, so let's try it out. Battery looks good. Lights are all on. My tire pressure light didn't come back on, so maybe it was just reading weird. And everything's trying to reset. But I'll go drive it around, but I think we got it. Alright guys, so I am driving the car obviously. My test run to make sure it's running good is I'm just going to drop the old alternator off, get that core charge back. It's $45. I'm going to take advantage of that. The whole thing was like $227 is what it turned out to be. I'll get 45 of that back obviously with the core charge. And then this alternator has a lifetime warranty. So, you know, I might have to change it, but it won't cost me anything anymore. The G8 alternators are a little sensitive. Normally everyone says you can only use AC Delco. AutoZone only had Duralast, but you know, I'm gonna go with either lifetime warranty, or if I could get that AC Delco, so I don't have to deal with all the alternator issues that people have. But yeah, that should wrap it up for this video. Thanks for watching.